Hey, everybody. It's me, Dave. Here for our big 5-year anniversary show. Wow. 5 fucking years of doing this dumb show. Man. I did not see being here 5 years later when I started this. I didn't really have a plan when I started this. Kind of like this 5-year anniversary episode. I don't really have a plan. I wrote some shit. It was fucking terrible. In 5 years, I have never once hit a wall so hard as I did at trying to come up with this show. I actually wrote an entire little skit where I talked to myself from 5 years ago. And when I went to look back at it, I realized I was just ripping off a whole bunch of much funnier Facebook, YouTube, or TikToks, or what the fuck talks going on out there. That they did it better than I did, and my shit was cheesy. And I'm okay with doing cheesy stuff, but not ripping off other people and being cheesy. So I decided not to do that. I have a shit ton of clips that I put together to record, and I probably will run a bunch of them at the end of this because, you have to, I guess. But I wanted to take here at the top of the show to just say, wow, who could have saw this coming, huh? I'm okay. I'm doing about as well as you can expect. I've got a job. I've got money. A lot of people out there don't have that. Either one of them. Government's obviously been no help because obviously they can't even do something as simple as, give the money they took from you back in a timely and adequate manner so that you can use it to, I don't know, eat. Oh, man, we've been angry a lot on this show, haven't we? I remember the first Trump show I did back when he was still a joke and it was funny. Remember when Trump was funny? God, he was a gift for podcasters and late night talk show hosts. And then he stopped being funny somewhere along the way and he started winning. And I thought, that can't be a good thing, can it? I mean, maybe in the short run, I'll get some great shows and jokes about it, but clearly he's not going to win the entire thing. I'm not going to spend the better part of 5 years coming up with new ways to say Trump has a tiny dick. Yet here we are, 5 years later, and I've probably found at least 500 ways to say that Trump has got a tiny dick. It's an accomplishment of its sorts, I guess. I wanted this to be a big production tonight. I did. I thought that I would work really, really hard on it, and every time I sat down in front of a computer screen, I just kept thinking about all the shit that's going on in the world. And I don't know if you've ever tried to write for a living, and God knows I don't write for a living. I write for a podcast, which is no way to make a living because you won't. And I realized that it's really, really hard to concentrate on silly shit when shit's going down that in 50 years of life, I couldn't even imagine happening. And yeah, I've done shows about all of this, and I've made jokes and made bad references and just really generally made an ass out of myself. But, I couldn't come up with this big blockbuster thing to wrap up 5 years of podcasting with, because the world has gotten really, really, really serious. I live in New York City, and it's ground fucking zero for this thing here in the States. And you cannot imagine what it's like to live here right now. You cannot imagine the idea of mass graves and freezer trucks full of dead bodies outside of hospitals, of people just... This is a dumb fucking thing. But I went out this morning early because who could sleep? And I needed a pack of cigarettes. I've lived in New York for 15 years now. And and I went to go to the deli. And yeah, it was like 5 a.m. There weren't any open. This is New York City, the city that, never sleeps, blah, 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 all those things. There wasn't an open deli because they're all closed overnight because, one, they can't find people to work it. Two, it's getting kind of dangerous to fucking be in the deli in the middle of the night by yourself because like a third of the cops are out sick. And three, no one is going out. This is entirely surreal, and it's really hard to write a funny, lighthearted script making, jokes about talking to yourself 5 years ago out of that. So, I don't know. Take this for what you will. We've been doing the show 5 years now. I don't plan on stopping. I kind of want to, not because I want to quit, not because I want to give it up, but just because it's really hard to write and do things when you're just sitting around day in, day out, trying to fill the empty hours without leaving your house. And you all know this is true. You're doing it too. And it's hard to be lighthearted and silly when things are so deadly, deadly serious. Yeah, so I don't know. I had thought about a whole bunch of ways to put this together tonight, but I don't think I'm going to do them. I'm not going to try and force them because the world is not a thing that, should have to be exposed to my shitty ass trying to be funny and failing. I do want to take this moment to say thank you to everyone who has listened to this show for the past 5 years on and off, whether you started 5 days ago or 5 years ago with the intro to this show. That's amazing. I know a few of you have, and that I can't even begin to understand why you've done that. But thanks. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for all the feedback. Thanks for, people who have been on the show with me, people who want to be on the show with me, even though it's not fun to sit here and do this with me because I just sit here and get drunk and rant into a microphone like I'm doing right now, and I'm not even drunk yet. Maybe that's what I needed to do to make this funny tonight, was to get good and loaded before I started saying this, but I don't know. It just didn't work out that way. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna try and close this out. I'm just gonna play one clip. And then I'm going to play a song to go out with and say thank you all again for 5 years. Here's hoping that come summer, we can all get the fuck out of our houses. I hope that you're healthy. I hope that you have a job. I hope that all of this is over soon.
Finally, a peaceful moment to conclude this tape. The would-be Lothario appears to sound asleep, and the 38-hour day is done. Now, Mother and Dad, I will put this as eloquently and succinctly as possible. Get me the hell out of here!
You're traveling with me. Hey now, don't trip, it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come to build a wall between us. We know they won't win. I'm towing my car, and there's a hole in the roof. My possessions are causing me suspicion, but there's no proof, no. In the paper today, tales of war and of waste, but you turn right over to the TV page. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come to build a wall between us. We know they won't win. Now I'm walking again to the beat of a drum, and I'm counting the steps to the door of your heart. Only shadows ahead, barely clearing the route. Get to know the feeling of liberation and relief. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come to build a wall between us. Don't ever let them win. Say, don't ever let them win. Hey now, don't dream it's over.
I have no ending for this, so I take a small bow.